Hello, everyone. So today I am breaking my 7-day water fast. So with that, I like to do honestly a simple juice and smoothie. Now, in terms of my own personal preference, I'm not a big fan of juices. Um, and I mean that in terms of via a juicer, purely because you lose a lot of the fiber, and that's where a lot of the real nutrients are trapped and contained inside those fibrous materials. In addition to that, I just don't have one. But one of the reasons why I'm not using a blender for this process in this smoothie is because if you're not aware, when you vortex and use a blender, it's such powerful RPM and fast RPM that it actually, what's up, guys? It actually strips and breaks down a lot of the really important nutrients in your fruits or your veggies or whatever you're using. So when I can, I really just like to use a little molder and then a simple, little press squeeze juicer. So I'm breaking my fast live, really. So I'm just gonna make it. I may not be talking that much, but if you're looking into it, it's really just a ripened banana because it's gonna break down and mash the easiest and mix well. 2 oranges, organic navel oranges. Let's see. A whisk to kind of mix things up. And then again, this hearty, delicious watermelon that I've had just like creeping, it's been teasing me this whole fast, really. So one little fun thing, just so you guys know, how you really pick a good watermelon is this color right here is going to indicate that flavor. So if it's more yellow, like this one is, it's going to be flavorful. Now, if you haven't learned this yet, I actually learned this from a dude, a, a man from Fiji, while I was at Winco picking watermelons. And to really get the right one and make sure it's the right texture on the inside, you want to like smack it, and it should give you that same kind of like feedback and sound as a drum. So if it doesn't have enough water and everything in it. So no, I haven't eaten yet. I just got back. So, and honestly, again, man, it's like when you're in that fast mode, you don't really feel hungry. So let me just grab my knife. Now, one of the things that I'm actually going to choose to break down first is this watermelon. Really just because I like to cut mine down to like the very end of the rind, and I'm just going to have to mash it up a little bit. But realistically, it should be good. So we'll do, let's think. We'll do about a quarter of the watermelon or a third. Honestly, this is going to take me a while to drink anyway, because again, when you're on a water fast, and especially a 7-day fast, your stomach shrinks pretty drastically. Oh, and let me tell you, this boy knows how to pick a watermelon. Look at that. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. That smell, yo, it's orgasmic. You always forget just like how good food is until you don't eat it for like a week. And really, again, that's one of the things about this fast. And really, anytime I fast, that always just brings me back to that real humble state. Just how grateful we are to live in a country where we can get food really whenever we want. Like, think of how many 24/7 stores you have. They don't have that all over the world, guys. Not to mention, we get food from all over the world, which again, you don't get everywhere. So one of the reasons why I always start with a watermelon is the first thing to break my fast is because watermelon are packed with amazing nutrients, but they're also a ton of water. So it's not going to be too harsh on the system. Because again, when you're adjusting, it's like you haven't eaten in a long time. You want to take it slow. So for me, when I'm breaking this down, it is that perfect watermelon, yo. So from here, those of you on YouTube, I'm doing a live stream on Instagram, so I'll reply to the comments there. Now, one of the things that I like to do is with this is I really like to take some of that white part of the rind, since a lot of the nutrients are actually built up into there. And again, it's just more water and flavor. So if you look, that's essentially where I'm breaking this down at. So as you can see, it's pretty green on the end. And then I'm just tossing it in. So everything here is going to be like that. So if you don't mind, I'm just going to go into kind of like chef mode. So I'm not going to talk for a second. Do this as quick as I can because this smell is like so teasing, man. It's messing with me. So then again, from here, just make sure I'm tossing my stuff in the compost. And if you don't compost, why? That's my question for you. There's literally zero reason for you not to compost. Make your own compost at home. Just get a bucket and some leaves. Toss that ish in, add it up. But again, one of the reasons why I'm starting with the watermelon is because I'm going to have to mash this down, but it's not going to be that hard. Now, again, another reason why that I don't like to use, like I have a Vitamix, but I don't like to use it for these types of smoothies because I noticed that it also makes it foamy, and that's just something that doesn't vibe well with my palate. Especially after a water fast, you don't need that much air in your stomach. It's just going to make you all bloated, whatever you like to use. Good. Oh, man. If only you all knew how good this smells to me right now. But then again, if you try your own fast, you will. You'll turn into a superhuman. You'll be able to smell different aromas from like a mile out. Someone was cooking garlic in my neighborhood, and I literally could smell it for like an hour. And it was actually probably like a mile and a half away, because when I first smelt it, it was quite a ways away from my home. Bam! So then from here again, I am simply just going to start mashing this up. And you know, as Bob Ross said, you're just going to want to beat the devil out of it. As I've learned as a child, it's always fun to play with your food. Ooh, and see, another reason is I get to check to see if I missed any of that rind. Now, normally in my smoothies, if I'm using a vitamin or a Vitamix or like a blender or whatever, I will actually keep in the green part and the rind. But because I'm doing it for scratch and I haven't eaten in so long, it's going to be an intense overload of fiber. So I'm just trying to ease my body back into it as much as I can. Now, this juice that I'm making right now, you guys got to understand, you want to try to replicate in terms of your time drinking this as if you were eating all the food bite by bite. Because again, when it's in a simpler form, your body's gonna be able to handle it a lot faster, obviously. So you're gonna be able to drink it. It's a liquid. But because of that, it's gonna mess with how your body's supposed to naturally break things down. So just always be sure to take your time when you're drinking a juice when you come out of your water fast. Now, if you do have a juicer, a really cool juice that I've seen people do, and it tastes pretty nice, is a watermelon and celery juice. But celery doesn't work too well for this method. And then from here, I got to go a little ham, so I'm going to use a little trick I like to do. So then from here, essentially what I'm doing is just covering this with plastic wrap. And then I'm just going to cut a little hole for the molder, so I don't have to worry about things getting too crazy. And another thing too is, like, it's okay if there's a little pulp in it. I don't really mind it too much. It's all about what you like and the textures that you like in your drink. And if there's any rind that's not breaking down after this process, because quite a bit of it has, I'm just going to pull it out and remove it. Because again, it's day one. It's not a huge necessity to have all this stuff in there, but it's just nice to have if you can. Whoo! It smells like, kind of sounds like you're mixing Jell-O. Excellent, excellent, excellent. So again, as you can see, there's some of those rind pieces that I have that didn't quite break down, but what I'm going to do is just give a little, like, oh my gosh. Oh my, oh my gosh. That tastes so bomb. And again, as you can see, all this stuff here, I'm just gonna eat most of that. Mmm. Mm-mm-mm. So, for the most part, that's not that bad. It's only a few pieces. And then again, because this is so dense and there's a lot of fiber in it, although I would just go ham usually, because my stomach's pretty small, I'm going to elect not to eat this stuff. I'll just compost it and give it back to Mother Nature. Now, for the simple part. Got your banana now. You just want to peel this, and again, you really want to use a ripened banana because it's going to mash easier. Now, if you really want to, you can just do what I'm going to do and just kind of mix it by your hand, smush it up, and then again, give yourself that chance just to kind of mash it in here. Some of these rind bits. And it's already got that banana flavor in it too. Oh my gosh. Man, any of you that have done a water fast just know how good this tastes right now. Good. And then really the simple part, which is the oranges. Now, if you do have one of these pressers for a little juicer, just make sure you take the stickers off because you don't want to get any of that plastic and glue in it. Whew. Mix it up. Make sure you get all that nice goodness in there. And if you get a little bit of pulp in there, it's totally fine. Again, you're just getting that extra fiber. Now, I just like to use a little bit of citrus because it's just good for the skin when you get it back from a water fast, even though if you have been water fasting, your skin has already improved. Then again, just toss another one in, baby. Oh, what's good, yo? Bam! Oh, I'm so close. You have no idea. I'm like so antsy right now. It's almost like when you go on a date, you're just getting ready, you're like excited, you're like, oh my gosh. Or before a test, before school, first day, something like that. Doesn't matter what you feel antsy about. I'm feeling antsy because I want to eat and drink this delicious smoothie. Slash juice. So there's still a few little bits of that rind that I'm going to pick out that I see floating around. For the most part, whisking it up. Giving it a good mix. This is what's really going to help you pick out those rinds. Oh my gosh. We got another little big one right there. Now, if I really wanted to take my time, I would just really break all these down. But since I'm on video, I really don't care right now. And it's been 7 days. So, and more than that, 7.5 days at this point. And I'm just like ready to frickin' eat. So even with these little bits in there, I'm cool with that. But what I am going to do is just give that one more mash. So, you know, if you haven't water fasted before, definitely give it a shot. Hey, thanks, man. Thanks for recognizing it. I appreciate that. The comment for all you YouTubers was enjoy it all. We're so proud of you for being the leader you are. the whole thing is, everybody, we all got to be our own leaders in this world, because our life is our own. You know, you determine your own truth. You determine really your reality. And for me, I like to do one of these fasts every quarter, because purely the body needs to clean. And if you're eating 365 days of the year, you're eating too much. Plain and simple. We don't need to eat that much. And again, I think the most important thing about this water fast is it's just brought me back to that state where it's like, you know, we don't need as much food as we need. You know, we can really live a more simple life, and we can feel the benefits from it. So again, I'm just going to use the whisk to kind of pick out these bigger chunks that I don't want to have to chew on nor deal with, because it's going to be a little bit too much fiber. For the most part, all that watermelon's off it anyway, so. Or the flesh of the fruit, rather. Whoo! So, as you can see, it may be a little chunky for some people's liking, but if you don't want to deal with that, honestly, just don't put the rind in like I do. Again, I like to have a little bit more of that fiber in it, so I leave it in there. And then again, this is like a smoothie juice, so it's not meant to be smooth. And if you look at this, this is going to be about 5 cups, so 40 ounces. Or if you like the metrics, about 1,250 mils. Ooh, ooh, I'm amped. I'm amped. Rinse the glass real quick. And there you have it. My first glass of the day. Now, because I only took a cup, I'm going to have 5 more of these, but cheers, folks. Mmm. Mmm. It's like, it's so delicious, but it's honestly like so overwhelming. It almost want to make you cry a little bit, because it's just like, oh, I haven't eaten in 7 days. But man, this is really one of the tastiest juices that you can have. It's going to be incredibly refreshing. It's going to really just amp up your vitamins and nutrient levels pretty instantaneously. Now, what you have to worry about when you're breaking your fast, if you're just going to drink all this stuff, is the poops. Because again, you like when you're eating more natural foods like this, and especially a lot of fruit, it's going to go through your system in like 2 hours, if that, maybe 3. But this is and it's just savoring the flavor, and getting that fiber, and just chewing up the watermelon that's still in there. The citrus, the banana, the watermelon, all just combines to a really like a fruit savory drink. But it's refreshing. It's delicious. It's really funny because when you eat in your after water fast, you can feel the sugars like kind of rushing through you. Your body's just like, let's fucking go. We got the food, baby. So yeah, I hope you guys have enjoyed this how to break your water fast. Now, if you're curious, you always want to kind of introduce things in different levels and different days. So today for me, it's really just fruit for the first meal. I'm going to have a soup for the next one, but you want to think it's like juices, smoothies, both fruit and veggies. Again, start off with fruit if you can. And then from there, you're really just working into like soups, veggie soups, bone broths if you eat meat. And then from there, you want to introduce like seeds and nuts. Then like the day after that, you want to introduce like legumes and beans. And then from there, you want to do multigrains, complex carbs, like brown carbs, steel cutout, stuff like that. And then following all that stuff, then you want to start introducing like your plant-based proteins, your meats. But again, you haven't eaten in a long time. If you're doing a 7-day fast, definitely take it day by day. Your stomach shrunk. You aren't used to a lot of this stuff yet. And if you jump right back into it, A, you're going to overeat. B, you're going to feel sick. And C, it's going to be such an overload for the system. And you don't want to do that. You want to really work your way into it. Remember, the water fast is just the first part. It serves as a reset. It serves as that kind of like bring you back to your natural base state. But what's most important is what you do after the fast. So remember that. You got to eat right, got to treat your body right, Gotta treat your mind right and live. Cheers, everyone. It's been Peter from FSP. Peace. I'm gonna enjoy this. Whew, you have no idea how much I'm gonna enjoy this, but take care, everyone. Peace.